लाइफ
वो बंद कर दिया
बहुत बोलता है वड्डा रियल टॉक How are you then?
Live, bro. Just give me a minute. Almost gone dark. Where's Umar? Oh, Umar. Oh.
He's gonna get brew.
Bismillah. Ready?
Yep.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Brothers and sisters, welcome to Real Talk, our weekly show. Alhamdulillah on Newcastle Fast FM. I am here joined by my two co-hosts, Brother Hassan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam. And also Brother Omar. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Brother Hakeem has also joined us. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Hakeem. How are you? Well? I can hear some people in the background, brothers. I don't know who that is. Oh, is that you, brothers? Apologies for the...
No, I'm just surrounded by these bare pious people in it. They're just talking about religion and that. So
MashaAllah. Well, hopefully they
zip it, man. Real talk.
Hopefully they can join the conversation today, because we have an interesting show with you all to talk about today. But before we get into it, brothers and sisters, to my brothers on my left and my right, how are you guys doing, man?
Alhamdulillah, very well. What's happening? Chilling, bro. You know what I mean?
Omar, how are you, man?
What's up?
Good, thanks.
Alhamdulillah, good, man. Just, I don't know, actually looking forward. I think this talk's going to be, alhamdulillah, hopefully it'll make an impact, bismillah.
Inshallah.
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 It's quite a serious talk, but I'll let you lead.
Yeah. So our show today, we're going to talk a little bit about mental health. And there's a reason why we're talking about this particular topic. I'm going to let Brother Hassan explain a little bit. But before we do, I just wanted to comment on some things that we talked about last week. So we talked a little bit about racism last week on our show. And obviously some things have happened since then. And one of the things that has happened, and as you may have seen in the news, everyone who's in the UK, there were many different riots. Oh, can you call them riots? Well, it was far-right protests, right? Far-right protests were taking across the UK. And it was a weird one, because the far-right I don't know what they were planning and what they were trying to do. Was the whole aim of their protest to defend statues or something?
Yeah, to protect the statues, apparently.
All right, so I didn't really quite get that. Okay, Abdul asking, can you hear me? I don't think we can hear you, bro.
We can see your messages, bro.
We can see your messages. No, we don't hear you. Okay, anyway, sorry, Brother Omar, what were you saying? Sorry, Omar.
I was just saying about, I think, like I was saying last week, so our last conversation, I think the fault was on both sides, you know. I think it's a tiny minority, obviously in the BLM protest side, as well as the far right. So first of all, yeah, they got a little bit offended because of obviously the slave trader statue, what happened. And you know, I can understand people's frustration, but like I said, if you didn't listen to last week's show, I think you can go on the podcast and, you know, repeat. If it wasn't a problem back then when they put it, you shouldn't have a problem right now. You know, and you know, you can use all the excuses in the world, but what's wrong is wrong, yeah. And I think some BLM protesters mentioned, not here specifically in Newcastle, but they mentioned that they were going to go and damage the rest of the statues that which are against BLM and stuff. But one thing that really caught my eye, and I did get a little bit furious because of the way how the the far right reacted and stuff. But alhamdulillah, sometimes you know, this is why you should always, you know, the Prophet ﷺ said, I think it was Ali radiallahu anhu, who says, you know, think before you use your anger, because tomorrow, you know, if you say something out of anger, you'll regret it later. And I was so raging when I saw the riots, and obviously the for anti-protest garden, the Great Monument, and also beating up the police and left in absolute garbage. But then
that makes no sense.
And then after like, you know, later on the day when everything, you know, when people stopped sending videos and all that sort of stuff, and I was watching that stuff, something just clicked in my mind, and alhamdulillah, just come up with some, you know, Earl Grey, yeah?
Yeah.
The tea.
Well, if people understood, he was the first ever prime minister back in 1833, yeah, who abolished, yeah, the guy's called
Grey's Monument.
Yeah, but the guy's called Earl Grey, yeah. But the guy called Earl Grey, the statue, bro. You know, it's Earl Grey, isn't it? Yeah. So he was a prime minister back in 1833, and he was the first prime minister who basically abolished the slave traded industry. So the joke was on them, basically, because that was the whole reason why he's been given the Great Monument. A monument was given to him because of that action. You know, so to be honest, they made himself look like a fool instead. Yep. And I looked at myself, you know, alhamdulillah, after all that anger, I've just made it, you know, if people just did their little research, maybe the far right didn't even come to Eldon Square and stand outside the monument, you know what I mean? They just wasted their time. But it shows you want to go out there and protect your statues and places, but you leave garbage there. It shows how much you stood up for your statue. So you look like the fools in the end, you know what I mean? And alhamdulillah, Allah makes shows these signs and stuff, you know, to say, you know, these people are not who they are. They're just looking for a reaction. Bunch of football hooligans, really, in my opinion.
I think that was the main thing, to be honest, bro. That it was all about them just trying to be football hooligans and it's any chance they can get for a bit of a Barney.
You know, that's what it is. You know, if they really cared for British public, they should be out there supporting the homeless. They shouldn't be out there on the streets. You know what I mean? Why is it that Muslims and people with ethnic minority who are sacrificing their businesses, alhamdulillah, they know that their rewards from Allah, and may Allah double their income and stuff. But if they really, really cared about the British public, you know, and no offense, I don't want to come across any negative and stuff, but go out there and see the British people out there. They're in an absolute state, man. You know, don't just come out there and start rallying against these protesters, man. Go and do your thing. You say you're proud to be a British. Clean your society, your community.
I mean, one thing that really got to me was the fact that they were, it was all about supporting the police. Another aspect of it was supporting the police, because in relation to what happened with George Floyd. But these guys were fighting with the police as well. So I didn't really get where that came from. Husky, what are your thoughts, bro?
Bro, they left the protest. I saw pictures, right? And they left the protest with cans of beer and, rubbish all around the monuments or the things that they're trying to protect. And what else did I see? They were fighting. There was blood. Do you know what I mean? A lot of fights were happening, to be honest with you, than anything else. There was nothing good in it, man.
We've got some comments here. A brother Mizan said that I don't think Muslims should join in with these protests due to the ramifications that may occur later, particularly regarding the statues. Please elaborate, brother, and what you mean by the ramifications. The second comment from him is, it's not just the far right protecting these statues. Many non-far right people are protecting the statues being torn down because they see it as an attack on their culture and heritage. Yeah, that's probably true. But I think it's the case that I mean, first of all, the statue in particular, whose statue are we talking about in particular? And I think then we've got to look at the intentions, although we can't see in people's intentions. But we've got to look at what the reasons why these individuals were giving their reasons as to why they wanted to protect or why they were against it. And you find a lot of people who were from the far right, or a lot of people, who just said the reasons why they were doing it was because they were against, the left or whatever it was. Anyway, an interesting topic altogether. I mean, unfortunately, we saw it in our community as well. We saw pictures and videos. I didn't go down. I don't know if Omar, did you go down?
Where?
To the Grace Monument.
Oh no, bro! Listen, I've got much better things to do than that, man. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
But anyway, I didn't go down. But I did see videos and pictures of what it was like. But
that was the other thing. I saw a picture. There was a guy taking a leak. Yeah. Right, a number one on the
London, yeah,
the police officer that was on the police officer's shrine or memorial stone.
Memorial, yeah. He's been arrested though. He's been arrested, and look, it just shows, isn't it? You guys didn't even people didn't even have to go. Like the BLM protests and stuff. They would have went there and they would have made fools out of themselves. And the funny thing would have been is if they didn't turn up, they probably wouldn't have to find them themselves, which they usually do anyway. Do you know what I mean? Had a couple of beverages and end up fighting upon themselves. Would have made themselves look like a bigger fool. But look, I understand people are emotional, and look, was it Abu Osama? Is it Abu Osama? Sheikh Abu Osama, who's from America, and even Sheikh Khalid Yassin as well. You know, these guys are literally saying, look, this is America. It's always been like this. You can go into states and, you know, you'll be treated. I mean, just after the George Floyd's death, another African male in I think it was Miami or somewhere. He got shot right in the scene by the police officer. He didn't care in the world. I think it was Miami, somewhere around there. But you know, just right after that, you know, and you would think, being a police officer, all this attention's rising, and you've been given a negative light. You've got to stay positive.
Yeah. Good points. So let's move on to our discussion on what we're going to talk about today. The reason we chose this topic was because something that happened in the news recently or during the week, this previous week that passed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my brother Hassan, going to go into detail and talk a little bit about it, and then I'm going to play you a clip, and then we're going to forward our conversation on. So, Brother Hassan, what's going on in the news today, bro?
Yeah, so it was actually Sunday. There was this Bollywood star committed suicide, unfortunately. Condolences to the family. It's not a nice thing that happened. And obviously it's made the news because he was a very famous person with all the trappings of fame, money, status, and the rest of it that comes with it. And it was a shock, to be honest, especially in India, and also anyone who watches Bollywood movies. He was well known. So it kind of brings
Bollywood, to be honest, I don't really know who you're talking about. Is he?
I don't know him.
Is he an old school actor, or is he like a new?
No, he's new.
He's new.
Right. Well, I'm going to play this clip. And then people can see what we're talking about. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about this topic in itself. But the discussion that I really want to focus on today is, in terms of mental health and happiness and that kind of stuff. The question I want to put out there to you guys is, how do you attain true happiness? All right. And let's have a discussion about that. So let's play this video, inshallah.
Now, in news that's shocked the entire Indian film industry, one of Bollywood's finest actors, Sushant Singh Rajput, is no more. Bollywood actor and also a TV actor, Sushant Singh Rajput, has reportedly committed suicide at his home in Mumbai. According to the initial reports, Rajput was found hanging in the apartment. And just few days ago, his former manager, Disha Salian, committed suicide by jumping off a building in Mumbai. It was reported that Sushant's former manager, Disha, had jumped off the 14th floor of a building in Malad in Mumbai. She was rushed to a hospital in Borivali where she was declared dead. It's a very unfortunate coincidence that most Indians are now coming to terms with, that a very, very bright and talented actor, Sushant Singh Rajput, has now committed suicide at his Bandra residence in the city of Mumbai. Just minutes after his demise, tributes have started pouring in for the late actor. As you can see, actor Akshay Kumar, music composer Vishal Dadlani, singer Amit Trivedi, even filmmaker Kunal Kohli have all expressed their shock at the tragic demise of the actor. Sushant Singh Rajput started his career with television serials. A self-made actor, to say the least. He had seen the struggles of the film industry. However, Rajput made his film debut in Kai Po Che in the year 2013. The same year, he starred in the romantic comedy Shuddh Desi Romance and as the titular detective in the action thriller film Byomkesh Bakshi. In 2015, his highest-grossing release came with a supporting role in the satire PK in 2014, followed by the titular role in the sports biopic MS Dhoni, The Untold Story in 2016, which is one of the films that shot him to complete glory. Rajput went on to star in the commercially successful film Kedarnath also in the year 2018. However, he was seen last in another hit film, Chechore.
All right, Subhanallah. That's I don't know what that was going on. The video was taking age. But yeah, subhanallah, the death of another actor, another famous individual, by suicide. It's an interesting thing or a phenomenon that takes place. And, I mean, yeah, definitely condolences to the family. I mean, I'm sure it's hit a lot of people quite hard. But I wanted to come from this another angle and look at, I mean, unfortunately we find this happening. This is not the first time it's happened. Do you remember there was a British she hosted I think Saturday Night Live or something, Caroline Flack? She passed away recently as well. She committed suicide as well. So you get these famous individuals who are for one reason or another, and I don't know why, but it seems like there is something that's causing them to do things like this, that they've actually commit suicide. And what does that tell people? That obviously that they weren't happy with something in their lives, but then you've got individuals like this who have fame, they have fortune, they have all the things that you can think of that worldly needs that people have, and the people have this stuff, yet they're not happy. There's no true contentment within their lives. And I just wanted to explore why the reasons and what the reasons for this could be. I think we lost Brother Hassan. Are you there, Brother Hassan?
He just wanted to be in the middle again, bro. Push you to the side, innit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rocky hour there.
So we're just talking about this idea that people have fame, people have fortune, people have all these different things, yet they're not happy, bro. They're not happy. The people of action, and to show that how unhappy they are willing to commit suicide and kill themselves. So what is, and I really wanted to explore this idea, because I know unfortunately some people say this thing of money equals happiness, but obviously it doesn't. That isn't necessarily the case. And I want to look at this idea of how do you truly attain happiness. So your thoughts, guys. I want your thoughts on this topic, please, brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters who are also listening. Your thoughts and your ideas and comments on these ideas. Brother Hassan and Brother Omar, what are your thoughts?
For me, to be honest, it's for me, it's to be honest, my religion, my faith, that brings me peace of mind. That knowing that God has predestined everything that's happened and happening and to be. So, if I think you don't have that, to be honest, you start questioning everything that happens to you, and you start letting things get you down, and especially when you're alone, when you don't have a spiritual connection with anything. It can affect you, I guess.
Look,
I'm no expert.
It links in, and I think we've got to be clear, and we've got to make this disclaimer that none of us here are experts on this subject. All right, but it's more the case of exploring the idea of why these kind of things happen. Why do people resort to something like this? What is the state of that individual that they have to resort to something like this? How far down do they have to go in terms of their depression or sadness? And what is it that are they missing a certain spiritual link with their creator, with Allah? And that's what I think. Personally, I do think that's the case with a lot of it.
Omar?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, very interesting points. Alhamdulillah. If you want to look at it in an Islamic perspective, Allah continuously shows us, in the Muslim perspective, is that Allah's and my condolences to the brother, his family, obviously, who's commit suicide and stuff. But Allah, in an Islamic perspective, Allah continually shows us that, look, you can have all the riches in the world, and Allah continues to, but if your heart and your soul is empty, that person himself is going to have a miserable life, male or female, But let's just put the Islamic perspective out the way just for 1 second, because let's look at the reality here, because there are some brothers, inshallah, I make dua, and sisters who are listening probably as well, who are not fully practicing, and some of them switch off when you come into to the religious conversation as well, okay. So let's just put that to one side at the moment, The problem is with young youth today, is the social pressure out there. Yeah. The pressure that is out there, the social media that is involved, and the fact that what they watch as well, they seriously believe that they're in competition, and they seriously believe that in competition, whether you're male or female, and you may say this is not making sense, but if you reflect upon it, it makes perfect sense. You're seriously trying to compete with one another, and you're causing divinity between each other. You're thinking why your family is going against you, but you work out how your attitude is. If you reflect on how your attitude is against them, or that you're against them, basically, this is making a massive mental impact to you. And now only a person, listen to me very carefully here, only a person who's actually experienced a mental breakdown can tell you where what they're actually going through. Now. People are so focused, right? Today's era, people are so focused physically, that they forget that everything that starts within your life is mentally. You can have all the physical assets in you. You can have the beautiful body. You can look after your skin, whatever you have. But mentally, if you're not prepared, that is going to damage you. And one of the perfect examples we can suggest is, and Allah knows best of why this person committed suicide or why these people are committing suicide. But if you look at today with the coronavirus, everyone's on a lockdown. Bro, there are people already complaining. They can't handle being inside a house, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
They can't handle being inside. Why? Because they're so explosive being outside, looking at glamorous things, going out there, even something when you go to shopping malls, they're changing the design of the shopping malls, making it so much of an illusion that, look, this is the future here. This is the future technology. Once that's been pushed away, Allah's saying, I'm pushing all this away from you. Now let me see how you deal with it mentally. You get brothers and sisters today who talk about, I wish I was the Sahaba, or I wish I was a Sahabi back in the days. You're nowhere near their mentality, man. You're an insult, man. You're an absolute insult. You're an embarrassment. Today, brothers and sisters, husband and wife, who just newly married, a wife who can't go out for a dinner date, her husband doesn't take her out to a restaurant for one day, she won't talk to him for 6 months, bro. Now, you get sisters, I wish I was married to the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ's wife, was speaking to his nephew and saying, we saw the moon in 2 consecutive months. And all we saw was the 2 black things. What were the 2 black things? Because water in the dark is black, and so are dates. 2 consecutive months, no food on the table. And the 9 wives of the Prophet ﷺ, 2 consecutive months, no food, no table, and you want to go out and say, I wish I was married to the Prophet.
Real talk right there, bro.
And you talk, it's real talk, You want to lay it down mentally, I'll break it down mentally. This is the mentality, that how weak this society is today. We don't study, we spend time on things that are, and please don't make me, if I'm not referring to anyone, Jazakallah khair for actually listening to the show. This is not pointing out anyone specifically, but you, like I said, check yourself before you wreck yourself. You push yourself back once and have a bit of a reflection. Tell me, are you prepared to deal with social society mentally out there? No, you're not. And something simple as brothers in competition. We see it in religious, even in people in religious, they're competing with one another. It's messing you up.
Bro, I was going to say that we live in an era. Well, even back when we were young, it was an era of keeping up with the Joneses, right? The idea that,
or keeping up with the Kardashians, whatever you want to call it.
Keeping up with the Joneses, right? Where the people next door, if they've got a nice car, I've got to have a nice car. If they've got a new house, I've got to get a new house. Or if I've got new clothes, I've got to get new clothes. New trainers, I'll get new trainers. You have to keep up with the Joneses, the people next door. But I think because we've moved on social media has exploded, the youth of today have it. I'm not going to say they have it a lot harder, but it's opened the scope to want to be like those individuals that are out there. And it's it's not about that, bro. It's not about that. It's not. In a small portion of it, But today, it's all about being the top dog. Yeah, that's what I mean. They want to compete and want to try and be like these people.
you don't want to wear your Nikes about the Louis Vuittons, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's all about that. It's all about that. Yeah, but you know what it is? Allah continuously tells you. Yeah, and if I'm bringing Islam back in this perspective. Allah continuously tells you is that what this is mental pressure on the youth today. Yeah, this is whether you're male or female. But Allah continues to open that book. If you don't have to read in Arabic, just read it in English. You don't even need wudu to read it in English. Just challenge yourself. Read a few chapters, yeah, and get the Sahih International, which is today's English translation, yeah. And just Allah continues to tell you, He says, you know what, all this is delusion. You're in competition, but you know what you're claiming. You know what you're claiming to be, whether you're brother or sister. You know what you're claiming to be. You're the top dog, and Allah is nothing. Yeah, you're forgetting that Allah is the controller of everything, and you're competing with Him. Yeah, you're showing people around you that I'm the top dog.
Let's link it back to our whole discussion. And I know Brother Hassan has loads that he wants to say, sitting there quietly the way he is. I
can't talk over you, man.
Okay, let's link it back to what we talked about before. And we're linking it back to the idea of mental health. And unfortunately, and more to do with the rat race that we live in today, where it's the case of people are chasing something, these worldly things that they're chasing so much because they see it all the time wherever they go. And because they can't reach it, it pushes them further down into a dark path or depression or sadness or, and that whole thing, that because of that, then it becomes a sad thing for them. They don't reach their happiness, and they've got a false understanding of what happiness is. But I'm going to let our Brother Hassan, you want to come in and make your comments on this, bro?
Yeah, so basically, to be honest with you, I've watched, a few videos about it and stuff because, alhamdulillah, it actually hasn't happened to me, I don't think, in my life where I've felt like I'm down and out so much that I've considered committing suicide or harming myself or, something along those lines. Alhamdulillah, it's never happened. But you know what? It is a duty for all of us to know that it does happen to a lot of people. And when I say a lot, I really do mean it, bro, because I've done some research and now suicides are a bigger killer, okay, than drugs and alcohol, bro, right? So we get this pumped into us when we're kids, right? Don't take drugs and alcohol, avoid your bad friends and all that kind of stuff, yeah? But we don't realize and we don't get told that suicide is a bigger killer, right? Now, we've actually, you know what, bro, between the three of us, recently in Newcastle, one of the brothers that was with us passed away within the last year, right? I don't want to mention his name, but I think you guys should know who I'm talking about, right? Now, you know what? I wanted to bring up something else as well, which I've heard on other people comment about, is that there's a taboo of committing suicide, because obviously in Islam it says if you commit suicide you're going to automatically go to hell and have a very bad punishment. Now the point is, we don't think about the person's state of mind when he committed that act, right? Was he sane, right? Was the pen lifted? We don't question that, right? Why not? That's something that's serious, man. We can't just start pointing fingers, say I'm not praying over this person. Yeah, as Muslims we've got to take some heed, right? Gain a little bit of knowledge, right? Think about it, right? Use your brain for a minute instead of getting emotional and thinking the worst of people, right? And really assess. I mean, me and Umar have had phone calls. Umar, remember that phone call we had in the middle of the night, bro? Me and you back in 2007-8, right? And we had to go to where we had to go and knock on 50 doors to find the man. You remember that one? Right? There was one phone call we got, and it was one of those ones where, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do next, right? So me and Umar just jumped in the car, shut everything down. Had to. You know, I had to. I don't know why you go in there, but the point is, right? It's not that we were heroes, but my point is, be that person that's always there for others as well. Be that person that people can speak to without feeling shy or ashamed. Don't judge anyone. Don't point the finger, please.
Just want to add a little bit more to that, and I think majority of it, it's not just mentally as well. Is and genuinely there are brothers and sisters out there that get that lack of attention. When you're with a group, when you're with a group, there's always that one person that feels like they're a little bit more neglected, or their statement doesn't come out as much as fair as anyone else. I've always said, brothers and sisters out there, if you're meeting your friends and your friends and family, it could be even your closest family member, whoever you meet, honestly, put your hate to one side, show as much love as you can and as much attention can you hand that certain individual, show that you're there, because honestly, behind the scenes, you don't honestly know what that individual's going through.
I think you're right.
All it can take is that you giving that little bit of attention, even something like a phone call saying, brother or sister, just let you know, I'm heard you from the life. It's powerful, man.
It is, honestly.
It changes the intellect. Psychology. Sorry, just 1 second before you. But psychologically, it makes a massive impact, because psychologically, those brain signals send a switching mode. Actually, this person's actually considered me. And you'd be quite surprised that certain individuals actually reply back after you've had that conversation. Am I echoing? Sorry, 1 second. Saying that he or she will say, thanks for keeping in touch with us. Just that little attention makes a massive difference, and you could also save a life.
I think you're right. To be honest with you, I'll come back to the point. I'll make this point, and we'll come back to what we were talking about before. But the idea is, this statement, out of sight, out of mind. What happens is when you don't see someone quite often, you forget about them. Right, and because you don't see them, that tends to happen with us. Yeah, I know it happens. Hey, bro, it happens with me. I got told off because of this. Right, I got told off because there's a brother who I didn't keep in contact with because I didn't. He was out of sight. You know what I mean? It's like when you don't see someone all the time, you just forget about that individual. And I'm really bad at doing it. I am the worst at doing it. I've even had to put Facebook statuses up saying this. Yeah, look, I'm bad at keeping in touch with people. If there's a problem, if there's an issue, listen, my door's always open. My dad teaches me this. The door's always open, the kettle's always on, right? Don't ever think that you can't just knock on my door and come straight in. Yeah, the door will be open for you, the kettle will be on, and just come and sit and have a chat. But I know I know it shouldn't be that you have to make the first step to do that, because people should come out and talk to you and reach out to you. But sometimes I'm like I said, I'm really bad at it. One of my really close friends, and I consider him a teacher to me as well. He told me off for this as well. He told me off because he was like, you should really, he goes, you should really, take that time out in your life to contact people. It's really important that you contact people. May Allah bless my brother Abdulaziz anyway, because mashallah, he taught me so much in that respect. But I want to bring it back to this point. The point that we were talking about and why we got into this topic is because, unfortunately, today we've got people chasing the wrong understanding of what happiness is, and because of that, they are in a state where they're not necessarily happy, right? So I want to put that question out, brothers and sisters. How do you attain happiness? What is it that you can do to develop your happiness? All right. We had a comment from our brother Mizan again. I believe Mizan said, happiness starts from having a purpose in life. We can have multiple purposes, but not having a goal, an objective is the starting point. And I think you're right. And you know what? It does start here. It does start, like Umar said, it's a mental thing first more than anything else. You can have the riches, all the riches that you have, the nice body, healthy, whatever else. But if you don't have it here, it's not gonna progress and not go further. So it is all about developing a right mindset and having a positive mental attitude. I know that's a buzzword. That is such a buzzword, and I hate to use such a buzzword and phrase, but a positive mental attitude is something that we should really all try and push towards.
I just want to add to it is that so much beautiful talent out there. So much beautiful talent out there, and if people just use their actual, talent and what they actually good at doing, rather than using so much negativity, honestly, the production that we would get out of these youths, it would be so beautiful, man.
True.
But the fact that we're wasting our energy on something negative, it's literally, it's a shame that you see youth out there that are using it as a waste.
But it's that idea of is it clout chasing? Is it Husky? Is it clout chasing? You should know.
I don't know.
What is it's called, right? Anyone in the comments tell me, is it called clout chasing? Clout, when you're like, you want to be like, I don't know what it means per se, but I'm saying that you want to try and be like the people who do that kind of thing. You just want people to see me, look at me, look at my view, look at all the rest of the things that I'm bringing to the table. And
Look,
that's the problem.
I just want to add to that. There's a difference to being a dreamer, yeah, and using your ego. A lot of people today are using their egos, yeah, because they want to get their say and they want to show that I'm the top dog and all that sort of stuff, yeah. This is ego, man. Sometimes we need just to hit the, take a foot off the gas a bit, yeah, and say, you know what, allow it. If that brother or sister wants to take the advice, alhamdulillah, it's for their benefit. If they don't, just keep on, showing that you're there, stuff,
Yeah.
But what I mean by, look, it's, alhamdulillah, it's, this is how talent comes. It's good to be a dreamer, but you have to make your dreams a little bit more realistic here. Like, for example, you're going to come tomorrow saying, I'm going to be this next, I don't know, say rapper, yeah. Okay. First of all, you know what I mean. This is nonsense, yeah. It's a joke, and I'll tell you something now. Most of these rappers and singers and pop stars today, yeah, who yesterday thought that they were gonna have the world, right? Where are they today? And I'll tell you something now. I'll be perfectly honest with you. In the music industry, because people want to talk about rappers and smoke weed and all that sort of stuff. You speak to these very, very rappers today, okay? I will 100% guarantee you they will say, bro, you're in the wrong game.
Bro, yeah? There was a thing on that I saw that, sorry, I know I'm cutting in there, but I saw this thing about like one of the rappers after they did their music video. As soon as the guy says cut, they go back to their families like normal, like it's normal.
Bro, right? Look, this what you see in the, when you see in the music videos and stuff. First of all, the houses are on the lease, right? The cars are rent, yeah. Even 50, look, 50 Cent, yeah. Where is he now? He's probably made this new super series called Power and all that sort of stuff, yeah. But even he come out with a video just recently. He comes on the radio station, and you know what he said? This is from his mouth, right? And many rappers before him have said it the same. He says, bro, it's all fake. He goes, I had at least the Rolls Royce, yeah, to make myself look flashy. You know what I mean? I had at least the Rolls Royce to make myself look flashy.
Like you said, bro, it's an illusion.
Absolutely.
It's all an illusion. Brother Hassan, what were you going to say there, mate?
No, 100%, bro. To be honest with you, I was just going to say about social media. I know that Umar doesn't really think that it's, it's much of a cop-out, a little bit of a cop-out saying, social media. But I really do think the youth now are kind of, pressured by it, what they see on social media. And I just want to say, man, everyone is full of it, bro. None of it's real, right? And I'm not talking about the cars and the houses and the clothes, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like even just trying to say like, oh, I've got this great relationship with someone, right? Where in reality it could be doom and gloom, but they're just keeping up with the Joneses, as Sale said, right?
Bro, what is that about?
Showing the community. Bro, it's
that
false.
About? I do not understand it. Like, why do you have to try and put out, for example, let's put an example, right? I'm going to throw this example out there. But look, for any married brothers out there, right? Look, every relationship goes through ups and downs and whatever else, yeah? But, like, why are you trying to put out there that your household is such a happy, all perfect and all the rest of it, right? When, look, there may be cracks, but, like, keep that between yourselves. What are you trying to put out there? This idea that I'm in an ideal life and I'm look at everyone, look at me and look how perfect my life is. I honestly, bro, I do not get it. I just don't understand it.
Okay, okay, let's just say I seriously doubt that is the case, right? But let's just say your marriage is perfect, right? And you want to put it on social. What are you doing putting it on social media anyway? Don't you know that the evil eye is true?
Yeah,
the Prophet even said. So if you're going out showing this success, there might be someone, could even be your own family member, and maybe they're not even maybe they're not even doing it deliberately. But the evil eye itself, yeah, is true. And the Prophet said, your private relations or your private, even your income, bro, your income itself, keep it private, yeah, because you never know there'll be a family member that'll actually, not deliberately, but may have a nazar on you, okay?
Yeah.
And that's, everything will be tarnished, just by you giving it. Keep it to yourself, man. You've got nothing to prove. Listen, we hate death so much and we love this dunya so much. Why? Because it's a beautiful lie and death is an undeniable truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even this is Shaitan. Shaitan will make this world a delusion for you to show, look, go out there. This is a success. Your success is not in this world. If it was in this world, death wouldn't be an issue. We wouldn't die. We will live here forever. Even this bodies that we have and this face and all that sort of stuff. This is not even our religion, our original body. Allah's telling us your actual real self is when you meet me, the hereafter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna, every individual is gonna be responsible for what they do. People are not responsible for what the society. Don't put the world on your shoulders. The problem is people are putting this world on their shoulders. Whether you want to keep up with the Kardashians, the Joneses, or you want to wear the Louis Vuitton, you want to be next to Beavis and Butthead, whatever you want to call yourself these days. You know what I mean? Look, you're putting the world on your shoulders. Relax. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Be unique. Be someone different. Don't follow the sheep. Follow your own. Don't be a sheep in the society.
Bro,
be real.
Even that, bro, I would simply just say, be a servant of Allah. Be a servant of Allah. Simple. Be a servant of Allah, because that's ultimately how you're going to attain true happiness. You want to attain true happiness. Free yourself from the mental prison of worshipping other things.
And
worship Allah alone.
Can I just before we go on the comments, just one last thing. Just want to say to the brothers and sisters who are listening out there, and and there are some egotistic brothers and sisters out there, but if you really think you're bad, lift your blanket up for Fajr and you'll have my respect. Just lift your blanket up for Fajr. You want to go out there and pump the iron and all that sort of stuff, and I'm not saying I'm perfect either, but I'm saying you think you're bad, or you think you're next bad girl, or whatever you want to get, or you want to call yourself a rude boy and all that sort of stuff, just lift that blanket for Fajr and then talk to me, And I promise you this, though, and bro, and I'm not, I don't want to put anyone down or make them feel shameful, but I will promise you this, though. You get up for Fajr, right? And I promise you this, watch your day be successful. The Prophet ﷺ said this, and we know that the Prophet ﷺ's statement, there's no other truth than the Prophet ﷺ, what he made. Everything that we realize today in society, this corruption, this disease, whatever you want to call it, it's all been prophesied by the Prophet ﷺ. And he said, literally, the person who gets up for Fajr, who sacrifices sleep for the sake of Allah, his whole day is going to be successful. And if the person who sleeps through Fajr intentionally, if Allah blesses you with that sleep, alhamdulillah, but intentionally you wake up, you know it's Fajr, you went back to sleep, that person's day is going to be a living hell.
Right.
So you know what? So you get to choose. You get to choose.
I'm pretty sure.
You little bad boy or bad girl, get up let me see you lift your blanket, then I'll call you bad.
I'm pretty sure we've all experienced it before. When you haven't prayed your Fajr, how bad your day goes.
100%, bro. I live by that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Seriously, I feel everything about it. If I don't pray Fajr and bad things happen, I only blame myself. You fool. You know what I mean? I kick myself, bruv.
You fool.
Fool. I call myself worse things, but anyway. Yeah.
I pity the fool. I pity the fool who doesn't get up for Fajr, bro.
Brother, listen. Brother Hassan,
If
ever you need someone to call you a fool, just let me know. I'll be on the phone, bro. I'll tell you straight. Anyway,
I don't need to let you know. Trust me, I don't need to, you know. Yeah.
Brother,
no, I was just gonna say, do you know what? Just following up from what Umar is saying, really good advice. I just wanted to say, do you know what? Whatever you do, I think because of social media these days, we're putting everything out there, from our food to our clothes, cars, and even good deeds. You know what I mean? Or I just fed the homeless, or I just gave charity, or I just prayed in the masjid, and all this. To be honest with you, bro, I'm really against it. Especially when it comes to religion, right? Yeah, especially religious, bro. Like, to be honest with you, I'm not hating. I'm not hating, and I'm sure. Look, there was a video that came out today, bro, and I'm sure the brother was sincere. I'm not judging his sincerity, but personally, I don't like that type of stuff. Yeah, the masjid's open. He's recording himself running to the masjid, right? He's saying, "Ha, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Is that the adhan? Is that takbir?" I said, "Bro, what are you doing? You should be crying walking through those doors. Yeah, your first time you put your head on the ground in months for your. That's between you and Allah. That's the perfect time. That's between you and Allah to say, Ya Allah, thank you again. I've been away for so long." But why would you pull your phone out, bro? It doesn't make sense to me. Why would you ruin the pure moment? Yeah, that's not happiness. Happiness is when you are pleased with Allah and Allah is pleased with you, bro. That's happiness.
maybe.
Yeah, no, you know it is. I get it. The masjid's been locked down. If you want, Allah, only Allah knows that individual attention. You know what I mean? Open masjid. Alhamdulillah, Allah's opened that door. But don't be an idiot. You know what I mean? Don't be an idiot for it. You go and you show your video and Isha. Let me see you do it for Fajr, mate. Then I'll respect you. You know what I mean? And you'll see the mosque is still empty for Fajr, bro. You know. But I think we've got a few questions, bro, and then we'll continue, inshallah.
We got a comment, Brother Hassan. Do you want to start reading the comments out? Checking your reading skills.
Can do, yeah. Let's
comments. My bad, comments.
Yep. So, 1 second. Let's go up, right? So
I've got to put it on screen, bro. Where are you looking? No, what are you doing?
I'm going through myself. I'm making my own order here. You told me take over. I'm taking over.
Okay, sorry, my apologies.
I mean, you did it again?
Go in order.
Social media crazy. Many people words hitting weak. Right? It makes the next one from Sister Zara. Yeah, it makes many what to buy. Go for fillers by looking at others.
What does that mean?
Now this is one from. I'm not sure. Let's just Lenny. Brother Lenny. So. Brother Lenny.
Hold on. Do a comment at a time, bro. Go back to that. Go back to what the sister's saying. Let's clarify it. And then go to the next comment, bro. This is comment talk. Let's go through the comments, bro.
Just take a seat back. Just sit back.
Yeah, just relax. Just relax, bro. Just relax.
So good, I got this.
You do the buttons, yeah, I'll read.
Social pressure, guys. Okay, this is what you call social pressure, right?
Okay, I got you, bro. I got you. I
didn't understand this one. I just moved on, innit?
Don't just move on. Let's look
real
at
talk, bro.
I'm just moving on. Just moving on.
So here, take over, man. So just take over, bro. Yeah.
All right. Social media crazy. Many full of words hitting the week. Let's just carry on. I don't get that. No, I'm just kidding. So
Thank you.
So the whole point is that
you got it.
The whole point
you
is
didn't get it.
I didn't get it. Let me explain it. I'll explain it. Let me explain it.
Let him explain it.
So social media is crazy. Many full of words are hitting the week, right? It's basically that social media is so crazy that it's influencing those who are weak-minded. That's what you
get, bro. You get what she's saying now.
Yeah.
Sisters are what you're saying. Can you clarify, please?
No, I'm explaining it, bro.
He's explaining, man. Did you not get it?
It makes people want to buy. Social media makes people want to buy stuff. It does, bro. That's the whole point. Is social media makes people want to buy stuff.
All right.
I don't know about the full fillers bit, but looking at others, yeah, but it does. But you're right. But the whole thing about looking at others, what we talked about before, what it does is it makes people look at what other people have. You see social media, you see these posts, you see someone have something, you want it. That's what it does, man. Social media is just opening the doors for people to start doing that. Brother Hassan, am I right, Sister Zara? Is that what you meant? Yeah, I think I'm right.
Sister Zara, please clarify.
All right.
That'll be interesting to know if
you've confused my brother in the middle. He's like, mentally, he's not there. You know what I mean? So
let's go with this one, Brother Hassan. Bismillah.
Yes, Brother Lenny. Evening, brothers. Evening, Brother Lenny. And I got this. Evening, brothers. Suicide isn't a choice you want to take. It is the next step to self-destruction. I've been there. Happiness isn't having it all. Happiness is finding inner peace, knowing the evil that's tormenting your soul isn't in charge. Taking my Shahada was like a brand new page of a new life for me. Maybe not for everyone's way to handle the depression, but it works for me. Alhamdulillah.
SubhanAllah, bro, Brother Lenny, that is a beautiful statement. And that actually is very, very powerful, because you're absolutely right, bro. It's like, what is happiness? What do you mean by happiness? And how do you attain true happiness? This is what I wanted to talk about from the beginning of the show, is how do you attain true happiness? Attain true happiness. What is it? How do you get it? And personally, like I said, the only real way of getting that happiness is by worshipping Allah, by recognizing Allah, the one who created us, the one who
Wallahi, it's not just sorry, bro. It's not just about that. I'll be honest with you, yeah. You know what we call this today? We call it first world problems, bro. Yeah. You just go in these third world countries, bro. Yeah. Just elaborating what I was saying earlier. It's happy. People think that having these material stuff in life, yeah, is true happiness. It's not, because you can go to the third world country, right, bro? You can see a child who can't have food in the who was struggling to get food on the table, right, will come with a beautiful smile on your face. Why? Because Allah's put something in those kids' hearts, yeah, that you know what it is, that they can walk around peacefully. They don't even have the latest gadgets. They don't even have shoes, man, and they're still smiling. And we having first world problems today because we feel like we've got this burden on our shoulder. You try sleeping on a pavement overnight, then come back and talk to me. You know what I mean? You know, that's, you know, if you want to know about truth, Allah puts it in that person's heart to say, look, you know, I'm with you here, and He'll send beautiful people to you, yeah, to ease your mind. You know, you don't, you know, alhamdulillah, you know, for brothers and sisters who are not really religiously prepared as well, go out, man, do some exercise, man, go for a run, ease your mind, man, fresh your mind, get away from this, mate. You going out there showing what you're cooking tonight? What am I going to get out of that? Why do I need to know what you're cooking, mate? You're making roti dal. Why do I need to look at your roti dal or your chapati flour on your face? Do you know what I mean? I don't need to know that. You know, and brothers showing their necks, like, you know, Louis Vuitton cap and that. What do I need? What am I going to get out of that? You know what I mean? Well, I've got the next Louis Vuitton. You wear it for a couple of days, it's ragged, mate. Yeah, it's worth nothing, mate.
Hey, check it out.
Now Gandhi won.
Bud. Oh,
Long
time no see.
Good on UFC.
Is it just about Brother Hassan? Is it just about Brother Hassan? What about, you know, the other brothers?
You know, he said.
No. You know what it is, Bud, you can speak to your mentally distracted brother in the middle there. You know what I mean? Just you talk to him. We're just getting on with the show.
Some comments. Social media can make you or break you. Use it wisely. Very true. Sister Zara's. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah. So Sister Zara said, in clarification, I'm saying that people use big words which are negative to hit the weak on social media as well. I think I was referring to. Yeah, absolutely right. I think people like you, bro. People can use words to harm people, influence people. It's true. And all it takes, you don't know a person's mental state, and it could just be the thing that tips it over the edge because of the way you speak to people. Go on, brothers. It's Maghrib time. Go to praying. Please see you after prayer, inshallah. We're going to finish up the show soon, brother. So, yeah, Jazakallah khair for the reminder.
Yeah,
wherever, we appreciate it.
Yeah, Saran, wherever you are, mate, it's not Maghrib yet, mate. It's like another 20 minutes, mate. Who's Maghrib? You praying like, eh?
Well, that's good, yeah. Bud, he upsets me. He sold the shop, man. How, eh?
Oh, Burger XL crew, mate. Bud, eh? Whoa, Bud. Bro, you've upset him, man. You've upset him, innit?
Anyway, let's conclude.
Can I say something?
Go on.
Just say one thing. So basically, the point about the big words and words can harm. Do you know what? I think that's a very good point. I think we have to be careful with the words that we use with people. You know what? It might just be banter, right, to you, okay? But you don't know what the other person is going through behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? And it's very easy now, especially on WhatsApp, groups, especially on social media, Facebook and all this. You know, you might just be having banter, whereas the other person's, it could be the thing that kicks them over the edge, right? And they start slitting their wrists. Wallah, bro. So it could go to that point.
Shotki, you know what it is? Just sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, bro. Apologize, yeah. But you know what it is? You don't even, you know, people walk around with knives and guns, yeah. You know what it is? The sharpest weapon today is your tongue, mate. That tongue of yours is so lethal, yeah. You could say something, yeah, and that's all it takes to twist that mind, mate. You can have an AK-47, you can have a machete, mate, but you know your tongue, mate, is the sharpest weapon today. Take care of that.
Let me tell you something. Bro, there's an Arab proverb about it, right? A very strong Arab proverb. It says, take anything from the man, right? But don't take his tongue, right? And it goes even further. It says you could even take the man's private parts, but don't take his tongue, right? Because that's how much it can harm someone, right? Everyone's got ego as well. You got to remember. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got a little bit of pride, ego, whatever, right? And if you harm it, and maybe that's all they got going for themselves, man, that maybe that bravado or that persona that they've painted for themselves on social media. And if you start coming up and tarnishing their persona, right, that could be everything, bro. It might, even if it's not real. So just be careful.
Well, the Sunnah, the Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ was quite clear about whoever believes in Allah on the last day should speak good or keep silent. You know, that's prophetic advice. Speak good.
I challenge people out there. You don't even have to go into deep in religion and stuff. I really, really admire brothers to read the biography of the Prophet ﷺ. The one is is it the split? What's it called? What's the book called again? The Moon Split, is it?
When the Moon Split.
When the Moon Split. And then there's another one which is the biography. I challenge you to even look and study his biography. Look at this man, how simple. He's a prophet now, yeah? To such an extent, right? Listen to this, right? This is we dream of having everything in life, yeah? There's a video going around on how simple he lived his life, yeah? But not only how simple he lived his life, his bed was made of straws. We are living like kings, and we think, oh, our bed is rusty, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're living like kings today. His bed was made of straws until one of his beloved companions cried. He said, "The kings of Rome, yeah, who have basically women around them in gold, palaces, and here you are, the messenger, the most beloved to Allah, and you have a straw mark on the back." And what did he say? He says, leave those people. Their Jannah is this world, yeah. Ours is the Akhirah. And let me put this, honestly, check yourself, yeah. Real talk, yeah. This is our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Angel Jibreel, yeah, the messenger who came to all prophets, came to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and he said, Allah's come and made you a choice, yeah. Your prophecy is given to you. You're the most beloved, right? And he was given saying you can either live like a king, yeah, or so you can have all the luxuries of this dunya, live like a king, or you can be an obedient servant of Allah. He was given a choice, and he could have easily said, I will have all the riches in this world as well. And guess what? I want to be chosen. He says, I want to live like an obedient servant. He lived, he didn't even have the Louis Vuittons, bro. He had rip. This is our Nabi. This is no insult to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. May Allah be pleased with him and raise his status, yeah? He had rugged clothes, bro.
Yeah. Patches.
You tell me you have a hole in your pants today, or in your top, yeah? You're like, I need to go buy a new one. I mean, look at me clothes, it's all ragged. Oh, I couldn't iron it, so I need to buy a new one. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam wore rugged clothes, bro. You can't even walk outside with your just a little bit of dirt on your shoe. Brother and sister, let me tell you something. Did you forget where you come from? And excuse my French here, but I'm only, but you are a piece of sperm. Yeah? That's all you are. And if you're on the floor, I'll challenge anyone who'll pick you up. I'll challenge anyone who'll pick you up. Did you forget where you come from? You were a piece of sperm. You know what I mean? And just excuse my language, but if I can't speak the truth,
nothing to excuse.
Listen. But what am I doing here? What, to entertain you? You know what I mean? So anyway.
Bro, if Allah uses it in the Quran, why are we saying it otherwise? I just wanted to mention some comments. I'm going to read some comments right before we go. Yes, brother, Jazakallah khair. Look good for looking out, bro. I appreciate the lookout, man. Thumbs up to you too, sister. Subhanallah. I wish we could all follow our Prophet, peace and blessing upon him. Nowadays, people are full of pride and showing off. Unfortunately, that is the case, and it is something that we all have to come back to. Lots of love to Brother Suhail and Hassan, and to my nephew Umar. It's Chacha. Chacha, mashallah.
Assalamu alaikum, Chacha. Bear love.
Chacha. Jazakallah khair for listening.
Chacha,
and tuning in.
Behave, please. Chacha, please, time to behave. Right. Naughty boy, I'm telling you.
Chacha, you know what it is? Can I just say, they always make me the bad guy. Come and sort them out, man, will you? One's in Saudi anyway. You'll have to get a first flight ticket to sort it.
Let's go back. They always make me
kind of the bad guy.
Let's go back to the topic, right? The topic we talked about is mental health. Now, brothers and sisters, I want to close with this, and I think it's important that everyone understands this. Mental health is a real thing, all right? That has to be understood, that this idea of mental health is a real thing. So it's so important that we do actually look out for our mental health. And look, brothers and sisters, if you are going through certain things in your life, get help, right? That's the most important thing. Get help. Reach out to someone. Reach out to someone, right? And if you don't feel you can reach out to someone, there's 3 people sitting here. You can, inshallah, reach out to us if we can help and we can support, or to Newcastle Fast Time, or we'll signpost you if need be to somewhere where you can reach out to people. There are even, in fact, there are even Muslim helplines as well you can reach out to. You can speak to people who are on Muslim helplines, and we can get details for you if need be.
Yeah.
But I want to also dispel the myth that this idea that mental health is just all jinn, right? Because sometimes people have this idea that, oh, no, you can just do ruqyah, it's jinn possession. It's not always jinn possession. It might be, but it's not always the case. People have real serious issues. People have serious mental issues, all right? Don't just, think of it's just going to be they just need ruqyah and it'll be fine, right? I'm not saying rule out ruqyah either, but I'm saying don't just think that's always going to be the case, all right? In terms of a solution from an Islamic perspective, brothers and sisters, I would just simply say that, this idea of despair and depression, I don't think we should have it, right? Simply because Allah tells us not to despair. We've got to have this idea of husna dhan in Allah. We've got to have this idea of having a good thought about Allah. We've got to have this idea of not losing hope in Allah. Allah's the one that's going to always be there for us, right? And if He's not there for us, not that He's not there for us, if we don't feel that He's there for us, then there's something we're doing that's wrong. Maybe we're not getting up for Fajr. Maybe we're not getting up and praying our daily prayers. Maybe we're not doing enough dhikr. Maybe we're not praying in the middle of the night or the last third of the night, making up for tahajjud. Maybe it's those things that we need to start doing so that we get Allah back on our side, right?
It's not just that, bro. It could be something simple of making repentance, bro. You're not doing enough tawbah, yeah? Even how easy is the tongue by saying, instead of, bad words, just going every day, astaghfirullah, bro. This is, cooling Allah's wrath, yeah? And show Allah's turning it into mercy for you, yeah?
Yeah.
And, apologies, you hear it all the time, and, as much as I appreciate what you've also said, Sohail, but we do hear this all the time, that if you have any problems, the doors are open, yeah? I don't want to come in that respect. We all 3 brothers here, yeah? It's anyone, whether brother, sister, just let all we'll say is that we have people, yeah? I don't use the perspective of doors open, yeah? Because sometimes it's all about not saying you come to me if you have a problem.
No, I get that.
I don't want to come with that mentality.
Absolutely right.
I want to know we are brothers of Islam, yeah? And we are here to support you. We will do everything in our powers to keep you smiling, to lift your spirit, bring you closer to Allah, and bring the talent out in you. You're not here to be the next Tupac Shakur. You're not here to be the next 50 Cent, okay? You're not here to be the next Will Smith or Beyonce or whatever you want to call yourself. Allah has beautified you in your unique way, yeah? It's up to you to find your true talent and your true blessing. And wallah, for those, yes, it is, I actually tried this, yeah? Because I tried, I couldn't get Ajwa dates, right? Alhamdulillah, with the blessings of Allah, I was managed to get some Ajwa dates. And maybe Allah knows best. I felt like, maybe there's something a bit, behind my scene, and I don't mind sharing this. But wallah, I got up for Fajr just 2 days ago when I got Ajwa dates, because whoever gets up for Fajr, prays Fajr, and has 7 Ajwa dates is protected by any poison, yeah, and magic on that day. Wallahi, I'm not gonna lie. When I had Ajwa dates after Fajr, I found a better blessing, yeah. I find a better blessing for my day. Something just really, really kept my mind calm the whole day, and that experience. Remember, Sohail, when I said this conversation, this was in private. I want to share this. When I first reverted back in Islam, I walked into the masjid, and brothers don't have to enter masjids. Allah guides you in ways which you can't understand. You can even go to a beach and something can inspire you to bring you closer to Allah. I walked in this masjid. When I walked in the masjid after so many years, I felt this peace, yeah? And honestly, it was like waves I saw. Honestly, I thought I was on something, bro. Yeah, I thought I was on something. But I was so, bro, but it wasn't intoxicating. So it was so beautiful. I felt like I entered somewhere, and I can't explain the feeling.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what you said? I still remember these words that you said. And you know what you said? And it really stuck to mind still this very day. says you felt it once, and trust me, you'll never feel that feeling again. You have to strive. You'll have to strive for it to get it. But Allah showed you something. He gave you something to tell you that this is a gift here. Yeah. And you know, it's true, you know, wallahi, Allah guides who He wants to guide, and Allah misguides whoever wants to guide. Not purposefully. Let's re-elaborate that. He doesn't do it purposely. It's what we do, what we, you know, out of every creation that Allah's created, from the heavens and the earth, yeah, from the ocean above us, right, from the seventh heaven, right down to the ocean below and the fish in the sea. Allah's given the creation where He hasn't given. He's only give two creations where He's given them a choice. That's mankind and jinn. He has given us that knowledge. He's given us that will, that freedom to either choose to accept Him or choose to reject Him. If you want to put it down in perspective, there's only two people in this society today living in this. We have believers and we have disbelievers. And this is no insult to anyone, but there's believers who believe that there is a creator, and there's a disbeliever who believes, nah, I don't believe in anything. Because why? Allah has given only two creations, mankind and jinn, to choose to accept Him or choose to reject Him. The choice, you know, when you watch The Matrix, if you want to take the red pill, and you want to take the blue, you take the red pill, and I'll show you how deep this rabbit hole goes, bro. Yeah. But inshallah, that's it, bro. Yeah.
All right. So on that note, brothers and sisters, we talked a little bit about, I think we didn't really get on mental health. I think our focus really was more to do with the idea of do not let social media get the better of you, because what happened, and that was the link really, because what happens is because of all of that, it leads to this idea of, if you can't reach the level and attain the level that you see these people, these clout chasers, right, that they're upon. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It is what it is.
It's not clout chasers, it's dream chasers, bro. Dream chasers.
Yeah, those dudes as well, right? But the people who are trying to put out there that their world is so perfect and everything else, no, it's a fake and false reality, right? You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So don't try and compete with those individuals, okay? Because all it does is lead you to depression. It leads you to a life of sadness, a life of depression. And like we said, this is unfortunate. This is where the mental health side of things come in, because a lot of the times, and I'm not saying all the time, but the idea of that you can't reach that level and you can't attain what the other people have attained, it makes you get sad. It makes you feel sad, and from there, you fall into further sadness and further depression, and it's a vicious cycle, and you can't get out of it. So don't. But the point is, what we're trying to make here is, don't follow that path. Don't go down that path, and don't think that path's a reality for a lot of people. It may not be. You just, it's a false reality that people are putting out there. Don't get that. Don't allow that to happen to you. And if it does happen to you, brothers and sisters, like at the end of the day, do not allow this idea of sadness and depression take over your life, right? Allah is always there for you. There's always a way out, and there's always a chance for you to come back to Allah. And Allah's always going to give you those opportunities. Listen, this is very important, very powerful. If you look at all the names of Allah, all of the names of Allah relate to things like His love and His mercy. Allah doesn't have a name of like the Punisher, or the one, that kind of, those names that have maybe those negative connotations that you might think in your head.
like the Greek war of God or something like
He doesn't have those things of like, his names are like Al-Wadud, the loving, Ar-Rahman, the merciful. You don't find things like the Punisher or the angry one. You don't find names like that. Allah doesn't want you to go to hellfire, or doesn't want harm to come to you. You bring it upon yourself, and we've got to change that. We've got to change it for yourself, okay? I mean, look, I've just had this message here, subhanAllah, been called names and picked on in groups and social media, and it affects me, like why people are so mean. Sister, don't even allow those people to get that far. You don't even care what these people think, right? What counts is what Allah thinks. And that's the focus. Focus.
And just to add that for sister, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Yeah, those people who are talking about you, if it makes you better, those people who are already talking about you are already below you. Yeah, so they're only talking about you because they're below you. Yeah,
it's their
so
own
what they're trying to do. So what they're trying to do is basically put you down on their level. You're better than that, and Allah's made you more precious than that. And if it really, really does affect you, sister, change your company around. How hard is it just don't even follow them? Knock it off. You know what I mean? There's plenty of sisters out there who will support you, who love you, yeah? And you know what it is? We're not alone. if you really want to know who really is alone, look, Allah, there will come a time where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will destroy everything when there's nothing but Him. Yeah? You want to know what true lone, if you want to be, what true lone is. This is why He's unique, He's the absolute, He's the Almighty, because Allah is the one who is controlling everything on this earth. Yeah? So people who talk about you are already below you. Don't let words affect you and stuff, So coming back to, sorry, bro.
We're running out of time. Soron's going to kick off us, man. Soron's going to get angry, man, because Fajr Maghrib's kicked in, right? So, on that note, everyone, I'll say my piece. I'll let Brother Omar do his closing, and then Brother Hassan, because he's been sitting there giving so much attention, and I'm sure he has a lot to say. Butt in, bro.
You know what I mean? I can't butt in. I've got a bad connection. It's just going to ruin the show.
Do this. The butt in. When you want to make a point, bro, just do this.
Primary school. Excuse me, sir.
On that note, I hope I've given everyone, personally on that note, anything that was offensive, that offended, wasn't, anything that was bad, that was from me, and I forgive, as I say, forgive me for the sake of Allah. I'm just another brother in Islam. I'm no scholar. I'm no nout. I'm nobody. Just, as I say, everything that I've said was from me, which offended anyone. That's from me. Do forgive me. It wasn't intentional, but anything that good is from Allah. And truly, brothers and sisters, this life that you're actually chasing, honestly, it's a waste of time. Take it from brothers who've actually been through that lifestyle, who've had this experience. I didn't get I can't speak for the other brothers, but I'll be perfectly honest with you. I couldn't get that help that I was looking for or was searching for. Alhamdulillah, by the guidance of Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought me to His comfort. And now, I don't know, Allah knows best, but, Allah has honored me to pass on this message to brothers and sisters out there who are experiencing this. So, like I said, if anyone's talking about you, they're talking about you because they see something that they haven't got, that they want from you. Just ignore it. Keep your head up. Stay strong. Stay smart. I'd used a bit of Tupac there. There's no harm of taking some good. There's no harm taking a bit of good, but keep your head up, stay smiling, stick your chest out, stay strong, and I love you all for the sake of Allah. On that note, peace out, yeah?
Jazakallah khair, Brother Hassan.
Jazakallah khair, Umar. How can I even top that? Yeah, I mean,
naying out, bro.
To be honest with you, I would naying out. I think we're all naying out, to be honest with you. I wanted to say, I don't think anyone should be looking at us like we're any different to them. We're also just trying to get by, get through life, to be honest with you. And my only thing is just to keep good people around you. And when you find someone, I've learned this recently, that's a good friend, okay, especially, to hold on tight. Do not let go of a good friend. A good friend's going to be there for you always. Recently, otherwise I wouldn't have cared for you much before that. But now I realized that you are eating it. You know what I mean? There was actually no. Asim Al-Hakim said it on Facebook recently. He goes, friends are, you could say 1 in a million and all that. And to be honest with you, the last thing is just to be that person that goes and calls people and sees they're okay. Be belligerent, even if they don't want you to be there. Just turn up. Do you know what I mean? Call them not just once or twice, call them 5 times until they answer the phone, right? And even if they say they're at work and they're not really at work and they don't want to answer the phone, just keep calling. That's what I'm saying. What does it cost? Nothing in it. That's it.
The most belligerent, the most belligerent guy I know. This is him right there. This guy here, the most belligerent guy in the world.
Have to be. Things don't get done if you're not belligerent sometimes.
This guy
you can't be passive in this. Can't be passive.
He's a headache, man.
Shy Ben getting out.
It's hard work, this one, All right, brothers, Jazakallah khair. Brothers and sisters, thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Inshallah, we'll be back next week. Brothers and sisters, before I leave, if any of you have a particular topic or something that you would like us to talk about, put it in the comments, or just send us a message in the inbox. We'll pick it up, inshallah, and we'll start talking about these different topics that you guys want to talk about. On that note, anything good that we've said, it's from Allah. Anything bad that we've said, it's from our own nafs, our own desires, and from shaitan. If we've offended anyone, please forgive us. We've never intended to do anything like that to offend anyone. And on that note, inshallah, we'll finish. Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Hassan, end of the broadcast, man.
You wait for me. Of all the things, you always wait for me to do this.
End the broadcast, bro.
You're still live.
Slow connection.